back to Lessons Learned. I'm Sherry. This is Monday Quilt Chat. Here we are. Another week has rolled around. They go by so fast. You may have noticed my Friday thumbnail was, where did the week go? I feel like every single week gets shorter. I learned one time the reason why, as you get older, time seems to go by faster. And there is actually a scientific, or should I say, mathematical reason why. Did you know this? Okay, let me see if I can explain this. If let's say you're 4 years old, 1 year of your life is a quarter of your life. That's a long time. A quarter of your life is a long time. So it seems like a long time to you when you're a child. But if you're 40, 1 year is a tenth of your life. I think that's right. So, a tenth of your life, that's significant, but it's not like when you were 4, it's just a tenth instead of a quarter. That's quite a bit of difference. So that year, each of your years, now that you're 40, is only a tenth of your life. So as you get older, that fraction for each year gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Isn't that neat? I remember when I learned that and I was like, wow, there's really an explanation, a logical explanation for why time gets shorter as you get older. It's all about how much percentage of your life equals 1 year. And it just gets shorter each year as you get older. So anyway, I just thought I would share that. I found that very, very fascinating. But this weekend, I'll tell you what I got into this weekend. I got all of the haberdashery hats done. Now this is the pattern that came in the Sew Sampler box 2 months ago with a Lori Holt Mercantile jelly roll, which I didn't use. I'm using Heather Peterson's Market Fresh. I will put a picture of my finished blocks right here so you can see what I'm talking about and what they look like. I think they turned out really cute. I love the colors in the Fat Quarter bundle that I'm using, which I'm also going to be using for the Millie's dresses. So that's my next thing I did this weekend, is I started Millie's dresses, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second. I did not do a long arming project this weekend because I did one on Tuesday, which was Wednesday's video, which you haven't seen that portion of that project yet. It's on this Wednesday's video, so you'll see some of the long arming and all the finishing that I did with that quilt, that jungle themed quilt that I did. So I didn't do one this weekend for that reason, and that freed me up to be able to get the haberdashery hats done. And that was pretty smooth sailing. Once you do a couple of blocks and kind of get the hang of it, they start coming together really nice. So I got all of those finished. I didn't put the quilt together because I'm still contemplating, combining the haberdashery with the Millie's dresses. And I'm starting to go back towards, yes, I'm going to combine them into one quilt. I did one block of Millie's dresses. And this is not my final product. It has some issues. So here it is. It's just as cute as it can be. However, if you look closely, and you don't have to look too closely, look at those sleeves. Look how I've cut those points off right there at the waistline. The points of the sleeves on each side, both sides. And then here I have about a 1/16 left for a seam allowance. And here I have about an 1/8 of a seam allowance left. So that's not going to work. So I'm going to have to tease out these squares, remake them, and put them back in. And I've been exploring some reasons why that happened. Some people have trouble with this waistband. My waistband went together fine, according to the measurements and the directions in the pattern. but I had problems with my sleeves, and I think I may have some bias issues. Maybe I ironed too aggressively and got these stretched out so that they're too big. That could be. It'll be a mystery. I'll never know. But I will have to take this apart and see what happened and how not to do it again. And that brings me to another question. Do you all always do, before you start a new pattern, a test block? I know that sounds so logical and so practical and so the thing to do, but I am not going to make test blocks unless it's something I'm testing out that I'm making up out of my head or something like that. A pattern idea or whatever it might be. Yeah, I might make a test block, but I usually just jump right in with the fabric and just go for it. And I've got plenty of fabric. I could remake this. Not this exact print because this is a fat quarter, and I don't think I might have enough to make another one exactly like this one. But I have plenty of other fat quarters in this line. I'm not lacking for fabric, so I wasn't afraid to go ahead, make my first block and que sera, sera, right? Well, I probably should have made a test block in this case, because this is unforgivable here. I will have to do some unsewing and resewing and probably reconstructing these two sleeves. I feel certain I will have to. That's all there is to that. I went back and watched Lori Holt's, not Lori Holt's, it's actually Kimberly Jolly's from Fat Quarter Shop. If you go to the Fat Quarter Shop YouTube, she has a tutorial on how to make this. She makes a block, and she's a little insane with her perfectionism and all with her sewing. She makes awesome quilts, but I cannot go to that level of insanity with precision that she does. I just can't do it. I mean, I want my blocks to be good, but I'm not going to cut pieces bigger than they're supposed to be just to make sure I get perfection. I'm just not going to do that. I have a hard enough time following the measurements on the pattern, much less adding a little bit to each one. Not doing that, but it is a good video. If you're making these, go watch that first, and that's probably something I should have done. I knew she had the video. I should have went and watched the video. I probably wouldn't have ended up this way if I had, maybe. I don't know. But she does tend to trim a lot. Like, she'll trim a section, when the pattern says, okay, so this section should measure X by Y. Well, I don't pay attention to those too much. I just kind of just keep going and make sure. I keep thinking, I cut them accurately with my wonderful Quilter Select rulers and my super sharp rotary blade, and I follow the directions of what size they should be, so this should come out right. But in the end, I should have a perfect block. Well, that's not quite the case, but I am careful about not over trimming if I do decide to trim, because that has gotten me in a lot of trouble before. Another thing that gets me in a lot of trouble, chain piecing. Chain piecing. I usually have to make 2 whole blocks before I feel comfortable enough to chain piece. And that creates another set of challenges because you've not cut all your pieces out yet sometimes. Sometimes, well, this is what I do. Sometimes I just cut out enough pieces to make the first block or 2, and then I go and cut out the other pieces once I am comfortable with the block construction. So, that's some added math in there. Okay, I cut 4 for these 2. Now, how many do I have left out of the 32 that I need to cut? So I kind of shoot myself in the foot doing that. But anyway, I've shot myself in the foot many more times by chain piecing without doing a couple of blocks first. And, unsewing a bunch of chained pieces, not fun. Not fun. Not fun at all. So I did get going on the haberdashery with chain piecing. after I did those first couple of blocks. So that's just kind of how my mind works. Everybody has their way, don't they? So open seams too. I tend to always open my seams. As you can see here, I open for pressing instead of pressing to one side, following the pattern. I feel like I come out better every time. I won't say fall into following the pattern, because that's ridiculous. But you know, when the pattern says, you know, press this way on this row and this way on that row, this way on that piece, and then they all nest together nice. I get it. I've done it. But I like my flat blocks and my open seams. I just do. It's just something I'm always going to do. It's like Kim Jolly making her pieces bigger, you know. She can do that. That's her thing. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to open my seams and get a really flat block. So we all have our ways, don't we? I noticed too in that video that she changed feet like often. Like she has her 1/4 inch foot and then she has her open toe foot, and she switches them back and forth constantly, and she actually has to unscrew it because I believe her machine is a high shank. And I was like, well, that's kind of insane, but I guess she's got a system down. Not knocking Kimberly Jolly, because her quilts are pretty much on the mark perfect each time. I did learn, this is something I learned, and I should have remembered this from the past, but you know, I was mentioning how my waistband just happened to exactly match up, but she was showing how, you know, if you mark a 1/4 inch down on your seam and then take where the two fabrics meet and then take a pin and line those up, your mark and then that intersection, that'll make sure that you get those together right as well. So I'm going to try to remember that too, because probably if I redo this and do my sleeves correctly and go on to the next block, I'll have my sleeves right, but then my waistband won't be right. So that's just what we go through, isn't it? It's fun. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Y'all like to do jigsaw puzzles. I just about could guarantee that most all of you like to do jigsaw puzzles if you like to do this. So, you know, it's just part of the fun. So, yeah. And I didn't know, she mentioned this in the video, that Lori Holt had this pattern out 12 years ago. So this is a redo. I didn't know that. All of you diehard Lori Holt fans, I bet you knew that. So, this is available, this pattern, Millie's Dresses, on Fat Quarter Shop for digital download, but it is full price. Somebody else that I've seen recently that did a cool project that I would like to try is Darlene Michaud. If you watch her, she's got a part 1 and part 2 series out right now on a block that she did where she was taking odd pieces, mostly kind of strips, and kind of in a abstract sort of way positioning them on some interfacing, some fusible interfacing, and she was turning down the edges, and she meant to sew the edges, but she wanted to do a decorative edge. And in the grand scheme of things, she just ended up turning it over and gluing them down and just doing different methods of turning those edges over and then sewing them down on the sides. Anyway, the part 2 came out Sunday, and I watched that, and it turned out really cute. Really cute. So she didn't sew those finished edges down where she turned them over, but she ended up being able to get under them because they weren't sewn down. And she put a decorative stitch along the edge of all of those turned under edges. And it just looked so cute. So cute. And I was like, that would be a really cute block for like the middle of a tote bag section. And then you could frame it out in black and white or something. Ideas. She said she had a lot of ideas for those types of blocks too, so maybe she'll do something like that as well. I'm going to try that. That would be a fun, I'm aggravated at a project and then I just want to leave it alone and pull out something mindless to do. Like I don't have enough mindless projects, like the little 9-patch, 16-patch thing I'm doing. Haven't touched that for like 3 weeks. Anyway, I'm going to try what she did. I think it would be fun. Plus, I've got a bunch of decorative stitches on my Jazz 2 here, so I could certainly do that. Remember me talking about some furniture coming, and it was going to come like that day. It was a Monday, and I was talking to you, and I said, I think that's going to come today, and it was for that heat press and the vinyl cutter. That has just now shown up. Just now. So, they were saying I ordered it. It says it'll come on Wednesday, which was like 2 days after I ordered it. Well, it was more like 2 weeks. So, I'm thinking about rearranging my entire room. Number one, I got to somehow figure out how to get that table in here along with a rack that I have for my art bin project boxes that I got. So I got those 2 pieces of furniture in same day. I need to put those together. And the second part of it is I want to do a deep cleaning in here. And I keep telling myself this is what's going to happen. And the room keeps getting dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. And so the furniture came in. So I've got to do it now. But I'm thinking about moving my cutting table. But I have a little bit of apprehension with that too. I don't know. You know how my design wall is behind it, which is very convenient. But there's many times I would like to show a full length of a quilt top or something over there, and you all can't see it because I'm standing in front of it, and also the cutting table's there. So I don't know. I'm looking around and trying to come up with something. So I'm going to be doing that this week. Am I going to be doing that this week? I need to be doing that this week. I need to do the review on the cutter. They're after me now. They left me alone for a long time. Now they want me to do the review. Where's the review? It's coming. Just calm down. I'm going to do it. Yeah, so I have another little review to do too. It's something you all might really like. And check that out on Wednesday's video. And there will be a giveaway. Wednesday, I'll announce that giveaway. Now, this is part 2 of that jungle panel quilt. So you're going to see all the rest of that getting done. And then you're going to see this gadget that I use while I'm doing the binding. And then there's going to be a giveaway of 3 of those little tools. And then Friday, on Finish It Friday, I'll go ahead and announce those winners right away. So there'll be 3 of those to give away. I've got a really good coupon code for it, and it's an inexpensive item. So watch out for that. And then what else? Seemed like something else came to my mind right then when I said that. I don't know. There's so many things going through my mind right now. So yeah, I'm thinking about redoing the sewing room, cleaning it. I think it's going to be a bigger job than I realized by saying I'm going to do that this week. But at the same time, it's not one of these things I can drag out for a month getting done. I need things to be in their place for videos and for sewing and for, getting things done. So, yeah. We'll see. If get here on Friday and the backdrop looks way different, I did it. So, and I will be talking about it too, probably. But, yeah. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Big dreams, little time. Sometimes little motivation too. So, got to take all those things into consideration. So my plans for sewing this week is probably to put the brakes on this for this week. I may go ahead today and get this redone or make one more block at a maximum to see if I can get this worked out. You know what I'm talking about. And then that'll be it. Because I need to do my Barn Star sampler blocks this week. That's my goal, is to get that done this week. And my goal also is to cut into 60-degree triangles the border fabric that I've got prepared for the Happy Days. So if I can get those two things concretely done this week, I'll be happy. Anything on top of that will just be gravy. It'll be the cherry on top, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm looking at my stack of bins over there to see if there's anything else I need to get into. I think that's it. Because I don't want to be at the end of the month doing those things, because the blocks definitely of the Barn Star sampler have to be done this month, and then also the Happy Days quilt top has to be done this month. So there's that. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to tell you about sewing. If I get time during the week this week, I might throw something kind of smallish on the long arm. I'm wanting to take one of my practice quilts that I have, quilt tops, and try doing some blocks on there, some block designs instead of edge to edge. I kind of like to play around with that. So I don't know, that might be a thing that happens this week too. We'll see. I don't know. I signed up for class at my local quilt shop. I did. I signed up for a class. It is a class on a foundation paper piecing no waste method. Now, those of you who've done foundation paper piecing, you know that a lot of times you take a much bigger scrap of fabric to cut a piece out of for your foundation paper piecing, so that when you trim it, you've got enough and you're not going to cut a chunk out of the design. So that's kind of one of the hazards of foundation paper piecing, if you will. We accept it, we go on, we make the beautiful thing, and we have a lot of jagged scraps left over that you can't hardly use for anything. So I'm taking a class on a no-waste foundation paper piecing method, and it is given by Sarah of Sari Diddy, and she is a moda designer. So, I mean, she does a lot of things besides design, but she is going to be at my local quilt shop, and is going to give that class. That's on March the 23rd. It's a Saturday. Now, if any of you people are local to me and you didn't see this on Facebook, because I put it on the Facebook group that I was going, and if any local people wanted to sign up for it, that I would be there. It'd be fun if we could be together and do that together. So if any of you are not on Facebook, didn't see that, please, if you're local to me and you would like to do the class, let me know. I think I can put a link in the description box of where you can sign up for that. Or you can just go over to the shop and sign up for it, or you can go to online to Sewing and Vacuum Authority, Clarksville, Indiana, and you can see it on there, and you can sign up online. So it's going to be kind of a smallish class. So, you know, Sarah, the girl that sewed me my long arm, she contacted me directly, reminded me about this class, and I had seen it before, and I thought, yeah, I would like to take that class, but she kind of pushed me over the edge with it, so I went ahead and signed up, and I thought, wow, it'd be great if some of you all that are local to me could be in the class. That would be awesome. So any of you, please go on there, sign up for the class, and we'll see each other there. Okay, let's go ahead and do the art quilt of the week. I will put a picture of it right here. And it is called Posh Penelope, 70 inches by 80 inches. All right, this is by Laura Nagel of Apple Valley, Minnesota. It says here, supplies from So Kind of Wonderful gave Laura the challenge to learn curved piecing. The quick curve maintained the accuracy she desired. It took time to lay out the blocks, evenly distribute the colors, and create the secondary pattern that brought the block corners together. Machine Quilting by Faye Hook in gray thread, a ribbon winner at the 2022 Minnesota Quilt Show. So this is called Posh Penelope. Curved piecing. I love these curved piecing blocks. Very interesting block design, isn't it? I like it. The quick curve maintained the accuracy she desired. I wonder what she means by that. The quick curve. Maybe that's what it was called? I don't know. I like it. I like it. It looks like each corner of each quarter of a block have two pieces, and then you have your two curved pieces. I don't know. I don't want to try to figure it out right now, but it's just a very fun looking quilt. I really like it. Nice bright colors. And you can see how some of them, if you use the dark in the center backgrounds, it becomes a different shape. It becomes kind of an octagon shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hexagon shape. Becomes a hexagon shape. So that's really pretty. And I was noticing here that this coming week, that the Quilt Week, Quilt Show, Quilt Week, AQS Quilt Week is in Branson, Missouri. So let me know down below if you're local to Branson, Missouri, or somewhere nearby, or if you're traveling there. If you're going to Quilt Week, if you are, congratulations to you. Have fun looking at all the beautiful quilts and doing some shopping. That would be fun. Okay, so here is my journaling for last week. And I did, on some days, I did think to do the sticky note for the goals for the day. And as the week progressed, I got less and less conscientious about that. So I need to start over this week and do that, because that was just the ticket, journaling and list making. That's what worked for me. So I will see you guys here on Wednesday for the other end of that jungle quilt, that quilt project in a day complete. So hang on for that. There's a giveaway in that, so make sure you watch all the way through to get that. And then Friday, finish it Friday. I don't know if I'll have anything finished or not, but I sure hope you guys send me something in, and pay attention to the guidelines in the description box on what to send in. Thank you so much for all of your photo submissions. We love to see those. Lots of great feedback on that video every week. All right, have a great week. Be productive and have fun at the same time, and I'll see you soon. Bye.